Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
This is my top 5 Ocean's 11 films. I didn't know what I was or how I was going to title this episode. The Ocean's films? Would people know? So I said Ocean's 11. Hopefully that works out. But this is my top 5. I'm ranking them. There are only 5 out. This is including the all-female version. This is including the original from 1960. I am ranking all 5 of the currently released or are current. Yeah, there might be more in the future, but as of the moment of this recording, there's only 5. Now I'm ranking them. I'm ranking the Ocean's 11 movies because I just finished reviewing all of them, and it's fresh in my brain, and I have opinions. So let's get into it, shall we, with my top 5 Ocean's 11 films, starting off with number 5. This one, if you listen to my reviews, you probably could easily have guessed which one would have been my least favorite out of all 5 of the currently released Ocean's movies. And that movie is the original Ocean's 11 from 1960. The heist element of this movie is bad. It is clear that they only put this movie together to show off the fact that they have all of these stars from the Rat Pack together. The blackface is questionable. The heist is bad. The movie, the supporting cast of the Oceans, part of the Ocean's 11 is very just haphazardly put together. We don't get to know any of the characters or what they do specifically. It's the heist itself is boring. It gets interesting after the heist, where they have to try and hide the money from this investigator that's coming after them. But it wasn't enough to get it. I mean, there's some bad Ocean's movies, but this is the worst. And also, like, I haven't seen a lot of the movies that Frank Sinatra and all those guys were in, but they're not good actors. Like, all the actors that were cast in this movie, they're supposed to be old Army or Air Force like buddies from World War II, but none of them like have the body language of manly men. The movie's really trying to tell you it's like these are manly men, but I didn't buy it whatsoever. Maybe it's a 1960s thing that I think manly men is kind of the view, the popular culture view of that is kind of maybe changed, but no. Not at all. Not good actors. It's like most of the beginning of this movie is just watching them kind of be spoiled brats and just like get massages from women. It's like the first part of this movie is pretty dumb, up and down. Not very good. Not very good. That's what is my number 5. I mean, it's like if there was a 6th movie, like once Ocean 9 comes out, like it has to be so bad to not kick this movie off. Like the only reason the original Ocean's 11 is on this list is because there are only 5 movies to choose from. If I was doing a top 4, it would not be on the list. It is just not a good movie. I don't know. People like it though. People like it, but it's not like no aspect of it. It's kind of interesting at the end. But that's it. Moving on to my number 4 favorite Ocean's movie is Ocean's 12, the film in which Julia Roberts plays Julia Roberts. You have like one of the worst, if not the worst, laser hallway scenes in a heist movie, where the Night Fox breakdances his way through this random laser field hallway situation. It's everything's like an afterthought. It's like they all are failing, but that's like part of the plan. It is like kind of a bummer. The way it ends is kind of interesting. There are definitely some interesting aspects to it. Seeing Linus's parents as being part of the thing is kind of interesting. But I just think the overall writing of it, the battle that these two guys have is like, I don't know, is kind of stupid. But that's why it's number 4. It's number 4. It's definitely better than the original from 1960. So Ocean's 12 coming in at number 4. The Many Faces is an ongoing abstract ink portrait series that I started many years ago. I release a new face every day, but go to inspireddisorder.com to check them out. So many available. But as a listener to The Ray Taylor Show, you can save 10% when you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out. So go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF, that stands for The Many Faces. Go check them out, browse the entire collection, and when you decide on a piece, or maybe multiple pieces, make sure you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out, and you'll save 10%. As a big thank you for checking out my work, for collecting my work, and for listening to The Ray Taylor Show. And with that said, let's get back to the show. My number 3 favorite Ocean's movie is Ocean's 13. A movie that I thought was... my memory of Ocean's 12 and 13 are that I liked Ocean's 13 less. But on the rewatch, since I rewatched all of them, I really enjoyed it. And this was actually my number 2 for quite a while. Obviously, you know, the 2 that are left. But it did change when I revisited one of the other Ocean's movies, and it had to drop down a peg. But Ocean's 13 is the one where they are trying to sabotage Al Pacino playing Mr. Willie Bank. He's opening a new casino. He screwed over one of the Ocean's members. He was supposed to be a partner in this casino, but, you know, old Willie Blank screwed him over. Plays like Al Pacino is basically like a Trump type of a person. And the job of this movie is for the Ocean's crew to do a few things. They're trying to sabotage the opening. One of the things is trying to get like this 5-diamond certification for excellence. They have like this secret shopper guy that he gets sabotaged his whole experience. They're trying to rig all of the casino games, which is a super interesting way to rob a casino. It is also has like these extra throw-on kind of things where they're also stealing the diamonds and like old characters. You got Terry Benedict comes back to help out the Ocean's crew. So it's a fun movie. It's got some problems. There's a long scene with Brad Pitt and George Clooney talking to Eddie Izzard about the plan while cutting to the actual plan going down. But a lot of that is just watching a few guys talking in a dark hotel room for no reason. You have like this future tech stuff that's kind of annoying. I wish everything was done a little bit more practically. You got this Pepe Le Pew magical like pheromone thing that does mind control. Like there's some ridiculous aspects to this movie. But the fact that it pulls everything off and it makes everything interesting and all the characters are back and not sidelined like they were in Ocean's 12, I really did enjoy Ocean's 13 and was really happy with the rewatch. And Al Pacino plays a good like Trump type of a person. Like you 100% are rooting for him to lose, which, you know, I enjoy. So moving on to number 2, my second favorite Ocean's 11 film is Ocean's 8, the female reboot, remake, sequel. It's a sequel for sure. I really enjoyed it on the rewatch, and that is why it is above Ocean's 13. Ocean's 13 was number 2 up until I rewatched this one. And despite the fact that it doesn't have the stylish, slick, cool cinematography and all of the visual like stylings that Steven Soderbergh brought to the 3 Oceans movies, it doesn't have that. But I think the clean quality of it actually kind of adds to this new story of these female heisters that are getting together, these criminals that are going to team up to pull off a jewelry heist during the Met Gala in New York. It's great. It's great. Sandra Bullock is amazing. All of the characters, Awkwafina is great as the pickpocket. All the characters are very interesting. You have fashion designer, jewelry designer, hacker, pickpocket. You got the was it Kate Beckinsale? I'm probably no. What is her name? Now I got to look this up. God damn it. But she plays the perfect Kate Blanchett plays the perfect kind of like Brad Pitt surrogate. Like both, like she's the Brad Pitt in this one, and Sandra Bullock is the George Clooney, and Sandra Bullock's character is George Clooney's character's sister, and they fit. They like vibe wise, they match up perfectly. I love how it comes together. It's like I think it's the only, aside from the original Ocean's 11, it's the only one where you see what happens after they steal the money. Like in Ocean's, the 1960s Ocean 11, you see like it's them trying to get the money out of Vegas, which is the only interesting part of that movie. In this one, you see just how they spend the money, which is interesting and fun. It also is it's a heist that ends up being multiple heists on multiple levels, a double cross. It's like the end, how everything wraps up. I mean, is kind of like last minute, like, oh, by the way, we also did this. So it's a surprise to the audience as well. It's also a surprise to the members of the crew. So super interesting. I like the way it was written. As far as writing-wise, I think it's definitely the second best. It maintains a couple of the stylistic, like editing and camera work that the originals do, or the Soderbergh ones do, but has a cleaner style for sure. But that's why it is my number 2, and super excited if they do an Ocean's 9 with those same characters. Be interesting to see how they, if they maintain those characters, because a fashion designer and a jewelry designer, I mean, there's only so many things that they can do. But it would be interesting if somebody wrote a story that was compelling and fun to watch, like Ocean's 8. Moving on to my favorite Ocean's 11 film. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. Without delay, everybody knows if you can count and deduce and subtract, then you know that Ocean's 11 from 2001 is my favorite Ocean's 11 movie. It is probably one of my favorite heist movies. I really want to dig into a lot of heist movies, but the writing of Ocean's 11, the acting of Ocean's 11, the cinematography and the look and the feel and the soundtrack and everything, I think it all works together for a really fun heist movie that really puts the original to shame. I mean, it's such a fun heist. The way it's done is so stylish and cool. The fact that they have all these superstars together, they're still like handled in a way where all the characters are interesting. But yeah, Ocean's 11, just such a fun movie. So good. Like, hands down, way better than all the other Ocean's movies, in my opinion. And so much so, I think it's probably it has to be one of the best heist movies. It has to be. Has to be in the discussion. And it's not just like a casting stunt like the original was. Like, it's a good, well-written heist. It is multi-layered. The characters are interesting. I loved it. I loved it a lot. So that's my number one Ocean's 11 movie is Ocean's 11 from 2001, which is the remake, the reboot, the Steven Soderbergh version. So let me go over my top 5 Ocean's 11 films one more time. Starting off, number 5 is the original from 1960, Ocean's 11. Number 4 is Ocean's 12. Number 3 is Ocean's 13. Number 2 is Ocean's 8. And my number 1 favorite Ocean's 11 film is Ocean's 11 from 2001. Let me know how you rank the franchise in the comments. Hit me up on social media. Let me know. And if you haven't seen the franchise in a while, there's some good ones in there. For sure watch, 11 and 8. They're really fun. And you don't necessarily need to watch all the other ones, but it is a fun franchise in general. And looking forward to more. I hope they do more. And as long as they're well written, because it's easy to mess up. It's easy to not do a heist movie right. But yeah, anyway, that's it. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.